Okay, so I am a. Fr- is this okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay. So I am a socialist. I am all the way from Switzerland. I very much am in stance with like green stuff, specifically the Swiss party SP, which is mainly focused on God, like when it comes to sorry, yeah.
I just want to segue this discussion. So you said you were a socialist, and
Yeah.
you know,
Big on.
interestingly, do you know what Karl Marx? I know you're probably not a Marxist. You wouldn't go that far, but you know Karl Marx. You know he interestingly mentions in some of his works. He speaks about how a purely capitalist system would bring in migrants, and he tries to argue that if you're actually a nationalist, you should be a communist. Because it's a system of beliefs centered around the community of people. And if you purely treat people as an economic unit, you know, how much can this person contribute, like a purely capitalist model would, you end up in the current situation we are in. I mean, the Conservative Party, which is a highly capitalist political party,
Yeah.
brought in their last year of government, 1 million people. That's a net 1 million people. So that is subtracting the amount of people that have left and how many people had come in additionally. 1 million people come in, and that is a purely capitalist political party. So I'd argue if you're a socialist, if you're a communist, if you have a strong sense of community, I feel like you should be anti-migration, because what migration inevitably does is create a competitive market where you do have reduced rates of wages for certain types of industries, which you certainly see within construction.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. Over here in Switzerland, where I'm from, it is very common to have a lot of different people. There is some from, I don't know, Germany, for instance. My case, my mother is all the way from Belarus, and just a lot of different people. And a lot of them have contributed quite a lot to just all of it. There's a lot of coming together in Switzerland. There is bad
Well,
stuff.
I would also say Switzerland and certain other Scandinavian countries as well, they've had huge problems with rape epidemics. Norway especially, a third of their rape cases are reported by foreigners. And of course, I'm focusing more on Scandinavian countries because they're also, you know, they have heavily socialist elements to it. They've had to have campaigns for women to go on rape courses, to what to do with consent. They've had to teach migrants what it means to consent, what it means to have no. I think it was in Norway where they had this ridiculous clip of suggesting to women they should dance about their no-no space in the case of foreign men approaching them, not knowing what it means to have consent in sex. So another issue I have with migration is, I have no idea if you're a woman or not, but just because we live in a very weird times. So a lot of women feel incredibly unsafe when it comes to men who first of all don't speak the English language and also don't have a concept of consent.
Yeah, I can kind of talk on this because I've had my situations like on actually Swiss train stations. But the thing that I've really noticed on my end is just I don't feel like it's a certain like it's migrants or it's like it is just any kind of person. It just I think it more matters on their actual like
What do you think one
the
of the
personal.
main sort of reasons that we have a rape epidemic in the Western world? It would be the behavior of men, right? Just how men behave and how they treat women. Just that's the basic premise of a rape epidemic. That men commit mass rape on women. Why that happens is a question. And for certain sections of society, it is because communities that we import don't have a proper understanding of consent. If that happens, you immediately cause for a situation with women who understand consent get raped by men who don't understand consent.
But doesn't I don't know, just something like, because from the understanding that I have when it comes to someone like getting into the country, you need to go through like a lot of stuff.
No, you don't. If you come here on a boat, according to UN maritime law, we can't refuse your entry. then according to the ECHR, we have to take your asylum claim. Now by then, because we have a backlog, a huge backlog caused by the Conservative Party deciding the civil service, what then happens is you spend years in the system, and by then you've probably already left to see your family, have already come here, and you're working illegally to pay back the people smugglers, which then causes a huge industry of drug and human trafficking. So that's not true. In this country, you can very easily come into this country illegally and undocumented. And even now, you know, flights to England are incredibly cheap. So, you know, it's not this complete myth that we don't have correct channels of entry, or, you know, the channels of entry are very expensive or difficult. Complete fallacy.
Okay. You know, I don't really know what else to say.
Oh, thank you so much. What's your name? Eva, pleasure to meet you. Evelyn, sorry. Appreciate it. Have a nice day.